Hi guys, I'm Lag Dr. Clay Ballard, and today we're going to be talking about an acceleration profile in golf. And basically what this means is it measures how fast your hips are going to be moving, the arms, the shoulders, all that kind of stuff, and when they should be accelerating in the golf swing, when they should be decelerating in the golf swing. And I picked up this cool little app called Golf Metrics. It's a good little app. It's not extremely accurate. It's not as accurate as like a K-Vest or something like that because it's just going to be measuring the hips. But it'll help you to understand when things should be accelerating in the golf swing. And this little chart is also going to help us to understand, kind of put a visual to what I am already talked about as far as the kinematic sequence and that type of thing in the golf swing also. So we're going to go over this chart. We're going to use a real swing example. We're going to talk about how you can maximize this to improve your club head speed. Alright, so first let's take a look at this chart. I'm not going to worry about the backswing at all. That would be the left side of this chart here. We're just going to start from the top of the swing and then the downswing. Here's impact and then the finish. So we're just going to be talking about from the top of the swing into impact. And this red line or pelvis, that would be your hips when your hips are accelerating. And you'll notice as you start down, the hips are going to be accelerating. That line is moving upward, upward, upward. And then you're going to get to what they call peak time, or when your hips should be accelerating the fastest. And then what's going to happen as you're working toward impact, the hips should be decelerating. This is an optimal acceleration curve. So your hips are going to be accelerating. They're going to slow down as you get to impact. And then at impact, they're going to be decreasing. And then after that, we're really not worried about what happens because the ball's already on its way. Now the trunk, which would be your torso, your chest, or your shoulders is an easy way to look at that. Same thing, as we start down, it's going to be accelerating. And as we get a little past where the hips start decelerating, then the shoulders are going to start to decelerate, and they're decelerating through impact. The arms, the same thing. They're going to be swinging down, accelerating a little faster than the shoulders. They're going to get a little bit farther than where the shoulders start to decelerate. They're going to start to decelerate to allow you to release that club. And then the club is the blue line. As things begin to decelerate, you're transferring energy into that club from the body, and then it's going to peak out. It's going to spike out way up here right at impact, and you're going to get the most speed there. Immediately after impact, that club's going to start to slow down. So let's take a look at an actual video of a golfer and see this happening in action. Okay, so for our model example, we're going to use a player here, Arnold Palmer, who's been known to have extremely fast hips. A lot of people talk about that as a promoter of having fast hips through impact. What we'll notice when we really slow this down is that's not what's happening at all. So just like that acceleration curve, remember the hips were the first thing to slow down. That's what you'll see here through impact. Now we've seen that he's rotated his hips very aggressively to this point. So if we're watching click by click, the hips are opening and opening and opening. And then as he's getting close to impact, watch what the hips do here now. Look, the hips aren't opening at all. They've actually stopped so that he can release his hands and arms. They've slowed down significantly. Same thing with the torso or the shoulders. So in the downswing, the shoulders will start to open. That as you get close to impact, those shoulders have to slow down. So if you're just watching these few frames through here, you'll notice that the shoulders really aren't moving very much. Same thing with the hands and arms. Those hands and arms had to slow down, and we'll get from this point here where the club is here, and then we'll watch all the way until the club goes to well on through. So the club in this point has probably moved about 6 feet or so. The hands and arms have only moved about a foot. So those hands and arms are really slowing down to let that club go ahead and be released. And that's exactly what will be happening in all great players. So sometimes what seems like is happening with the naked eye isn't actually happening, and it's very important to understand the proper motions. That way you're not focusing on the wrong thing. So if you're working on accelerating the body through impact, you're going to miss out on that maxed out speed with your club through impact, and you're actually going to hit a little bit shorter and put out some more effort. Now a great drill for this to work on is the lose the right hand drill. This is absolutely fantastic for it. It's going to talk about letting go with that right hand through impact, and when you do that, you're naturally going to start to slow down. So I would recommend getting an impact bag. Let me get rid of some of these lines. Getting an impact bag, putting it here right where the golf ball would be, the back of the bag would be, and then at impact, I want to feel like I want to actually have my right hand come off the club and then to hit that bag. So as I make impact with this ball, I want my right hand off the club. That's naturally going to slow down your body. It's going to decelerate the shoulders. You should still be able to get a lot of good club head speed, but I'm not trying to force it through that bag. I'm trying to release it at the bag. That'll be a great drill for all of you wanting to work on this. So if you're joining us on YouTube and you'd like to see this video, I'm going to play a preview of that, about 30 seconds or so. And if you want to watch that full video, click the link in the bottom of the screen that's going to pop up, and you'll be able to watch that video when you sign up for your free membership. Plus a whole lot of other instructions going to be absolutely free also. And then be sure, if you like this video, click the like button and post your comments. The more questions I get, I'll try to answer every single one of those. I know a lot of you out there have a couple questions, maybe have referrals for videos that you'd like for me to do. I'd be more than happy to talk to each and every one of you, all of you that I can get to, and try to make some videos that you all like to see. So good luck. I'll see you guys very soon. I'm really excited to help you with your golf game.
When it comes to releasing the golf club, most golfers do it incorrectly, and it's just the sad nature of the game that because most golfers are right-handed, they play right-handed, they tend to overuse the right hand through the hitting area. The right arm's job is to supply and support the left hand by helping it control the club, but also to support it, supply it with speed. But in order to get speed, you've got to release it, and that's a very important concept to understand in the swing, because most golfers